Ah, cool, cool. So we're out here on Saturday. I'm just watching a bit of TV and working on this 50cc pocket rocket. So I decided to do. So the sizing that we're running on this one is we're running an inch and quarter main beam, inch and quarter headstock, rather than the 2 inch. Especially it's only 50cc. It's only going to be designed for sort of like 6-year-old kids, sort of that sort of age. All the outside tubing is 7/8, and then all the backbone, that includes all the backbones and the structural stuff. That'll all be 7/8. Any of the support beam will probably go down to like a 1/2 inch sizing. That's the support sort of between the foot treads on either side. That's what we're doing today. So we're just finishing up these backbones. We got a couple of little seat supports with the rear axle plates, so they sort of sit there, all done. I just need to tidy them up when I go to weld it. Where did I put the plates? So cool. So just draw out the plates a little bit, how they're going to sit. So this is 2.5 or 3, I can't remember off the head, chromoly plate. So they're never gonna wreck that one. But yeah, you're gonna trim all that down to size. I've got another one floating around somewhere. There it is. So yeah, they're gonna be both cut down to size. Once we start mounting all that rear end. I just put these two beams in here to see which one whether I've got enough length in this one. I don't think I do, so I'm gonna pull that out and then use a bit more of that other one. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to hopefully get most of the frame done today, and then be able to go from there and then start working on something cooler, maybe like the front end. So yeah, and everything's been ordered for it, so which is good, which is all like the triple clamps and all the headstock bearings and what else have I ordered? That's a good question. Don't actually remember. Sidecar axle, so I'm going to make up a sidecar axle plate sort of style one for this one, so it's nice and easy. What else? I've ordered the electric starter motor. So it sort of sits. You take this cover off, and it sort of spaces it out that way. And then it's just an inline starter motor, which is pretty cool. So I'm gonna have that one on there. So that's why you'll notice sort of the engine space this way a little bit, because I still need to add another section about yay big, and it'll space everything over that way. New sprockets on there, so that's run 25H, I think. I'm pretty sure chain, which is somewhere over here, which is this one. So I don't think I've got enough length in this one, so I'm gonna have to buy another one. They're pretty cheap. They're about $10, $12, something like that. So I'm gonna buy another one, and they do have like little linkages like that. So I'm gonna buy another one of those chains and then link it all up, and then be able to go from there. So all the shockies are there for it. I'm gonna customize that exhaust once it's all together as well. I don't know what the hell that is. Pretty sure it's not needed. So yeah, we got the two shockies as well. Just trying to think what else we're gonna need. I don't know. I'll get all the frames smashed out first up, and then be able to go from there. So cool. That's what our plan is today. I'll probably check back later this afternoon, and then see where we're at next time. Cool. So we're out here today. I'm just working on the pocket rocket sidecar. Something pretty cool. So we've got this one just coming along nicely. So we've got the backbones done. We've got the side loop sort of done. We've got the axle plates in there. We've got the main beam in. We've bent up the main beam. Don't know whether you can see that from this side. Nah, can't. It's stretched around there. It's over there somewhere. How about I just flick the camera around? But yeah, so we got the main beam bent up on that side. So yeah, that's all good. So yeah, so what I've been having to think about is this, how to mount this properly. So what I think I'm going to do, like even that's not flat, like perfectly flat at the moment. So even that's not like perfectly flat at the moment. You can see it there as it comes off this tube. So what the goal is to get this this carby bowl as flat as possible, so that way I don't have to worry about flooding or anything like that. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is going to pick up some chromoly plate that's dropped on the ground here. Some of this stuff, and I can cool. So got some of this stuff here, some chromoly plate. So what I'm actually going to do is the same as the plates on there at the moment, but actually run it off the main beam, angle it up, and then angle it flat. And then that way that engine will have a nice flat surface to sit on. It's going to be very similar to the one that's on there, but I'm going to make it wider, I'm going to make it longer, and I'm going to make it angled up from the main beam there. So that way it's just a matter of if the engine blows up or something, undoing the bolts, picking the engine, undo the exhaust, pick the engine up, pull it out. It'll probably even fit between the backbones. Put the new one in, do up the exhaust, do the bolts up at the bottom, done, sorted. Not having to worry about anything else really too much. So yeah, so that's the plan. So I'm going to make up another plate of chromoly. This is like 2.3, I think it's 3 mil. Can't remember, I need to look it up. But yeah, so I'm going to angle it up off the main beam, then run it flat straight underneath it. And then yeah, and then I'm going to run some down tubes from the headstock down underneath along the edges of the plate that I make up. So, and then yeah, they'll mount all the way back to the main beam on this one. Cool. So I think lessons learnt from what I'm doing so far is, if I do another one of these, I'm actually going to make up a jig, like a proper rear end jig for this. At the moment, it's just sort of a bit of fun for the kids. I'm sure they're going to get a kick out of it, mucking around. But if I start building a few of them, then I'm going to make up a rear end jig for it, so it all sits nice and square and nice and flat. So I'm running exactly the same measurements every time. Pretty much very similar to the one I've got over there, but a micro version. Cool. So we'll come around the other side of it now. Yeah, so that's the main beam angled up there. Got the wheel in there. The wheel, none of the wheels lined up at the moment, but the engine's not lined up because I'm still waiting for the starter motor to get here, which will expand it over there. But yeah, so that's where it's pretty much bent almost in the exact same spot as the main beam is for the senior bikes or the junior bikes as well. Then I'm going to run, there's the wheel, this wheel here off that one. So it'll be something like that anyway. It's not going to sit there by itself. So yeah, so that's the wheel that I'm going to run off that one, but I'm going to make up a plate sort of design to fit it in there, so it'll be nice and cool. Yeah, so hopefully I was probably spent maybe 8 hours on this. No, probably not even that much. Probably 6 hours so far on it. I've also done like the little tank mount. There's a fuel tank. So yeah, so the tank's going to mount up here like that. So yeah, then I drill a hole in there, which would be pretty cool. And then I'm going to do another beam across the back there, so that mounts on the rear end one as well. I'll do that later down the track once it gets a bit more complete. But as you can see there, then you've got the gravity. Let's take that off for a second. You've got then the gravity fed nozzle coming straight down to the carby in this one. So yeah, that'll work out nice and well. I'm gonna run a, I've ordered it, it's just not here. I'm gonna run a fuel tap, just like an inline tap, as well as a fuel filter, just so making sure nothing's getting from the tank to the carby, so it mucks with it. I've also started up this front end loop, which is pretty cool. I'm actually gonna wait and make up a jig for this so it lines up all perfect. But yeah, so this is pretty cool. I think it is anyway. When it decides to stop moving. So yeah, so it's a little loop. Fits nice and perfect in there. Yeah, so when I go to weld it all up, I'm gonna fit it all together with the spacers and everything like that, then weld it all together. That way these end pieces are fitting perfectly with how I want to line these axle bits up. These will be aluminium solid pieces spaced up to fit this wheel, and then the same as the rear. I'll do the aluminium spacers between the rear wheel as well. That's where we're at today. So yeah, I don't know how much more I'll get done this afternoon. If not, it'll be another weekend project or after work project or something. But there we are. So hopefully people are enjoying this one, and yeah, hopefully we'll see it out to the track in the future. Cool. Catch you next time.